The United States has long been recognized around the world as a leader in beef cattle production. I'm Bob Kropp, a U.S. beef producer, and I'm here today to discuss several aspects of the beef cattle industry. In 2014, the total United States cow inventory contributing to beef production was more than 38 million head, consisting of 29 million beef cows and just over 9 million dairy cows. This is 18 million fewer cows than in 1975, when cow inventories were at their peak. Unquestionably, beef cow numbers have been steadily declining for the past 2 decades, while dairy cow numbers have held fairly constant. However, through this same time period, the United States cattle industry has been producing more beef than ever before. To compensate for the smaller cow inventories, the industry has become more productive as beef carcass weight per cow has substantially increased by more than 927 million kilograms. This increase in productivity is due to the beef industry's ongoing commitment to genetic selection and better management practices, such as improved nutritional strategies, incorporation of reproduction technologies, and improved stewardship throughout the industry. Beef cattle production represents the single largest segment of American agriculture. Across the United States today, approximately 729,000 commercial cow-calf operations exist. Over 90% of these operations own fewer than 100 cows and accounts for approximately 45% of the beef cow inventory. This leaves approximately 9% of the operations in the United States maintaining over 55% of the beef cow inventory. Beef cattle operations are located in every state in the United States, from the desert Southwest through the Central Plains to the northern states bordering Canada, mostly on land not suited for crop production. These operations usually consist of native range and improved pastures, which are dependent upon the annual rainfall, temperature, and vegetation for their area. Beef cattle production involves a 2 to 3 year production cycle and can be categorized into several sectors. In this overview of the U.S. beef cattle industry, we will examine the seed stock, commercial cow-calf, growing and finishing, followed by the harvesting and processing for consumer markets. The seed stock industry in the United States consists of numerous breeds. Each breed has an association headquarters where individual records such as documented pedigrees, performance data, and estimates of genetic merit as a parent are maintained. The seed stock industry represents only 3% of the nation's cow herd. However, this sector is largely responsible for the genetic improvements seen throughout the United States beef industry. Marketable products for seed stock producers include registered bulls, cows, heifers, semen, and embryos. The 25 largest seed stock producers in the United States market over 27,500 head of cattle each year. Adopting current technology is a critical component in advancing genetic merit and productivity throughout the industry. This includes selecting sires and dams by choosing genetic characteristics that optimize the producer's goals for a given environment. Additionally, technology provides producers with the best tools to select for calving ease, growth, maternal traits, and carcass merit with enhanced accuracy. Producers can utilize expected progeny differences, or EPDs, along with their associated accuracies, commonly called possible change values. Ultrasound technology and now DNA technology when making genetic decisions and selections for their herd. Artificial insemination and embryo transfer has accelerated the movement of proven genetics between the seed stock and the commercial cow-calf industries, both within the U.S. and globally. It is often useful to display the structure of the beef industry in terms of a pyramid, which also helps to reflect the size at each tier. Actual genetic improvement takes place at the top of the pyramid through the elite purebred herds, followed by the multiplication of that genetic improvement by propagator or multiplier herds to produce large numbers of purebred and or crossbred bulls and females, which are sold to commercial farms for the production of market animals. Genetic improvement is disseminated down the pyramid, which introduces a time delay or genetic lag. The opportunity to reduce genetic lag occurs especially if genomic tests are used in combination with artificial insemination or an increased level of reproductive management. The United States is a major contributor to the worldwide supply of beef genetics through the export of live cattle, semen, and embryos. Since 2008, the amount of beef semen exported surpasses the amount sold domestically. The United States beef genetics are adaptable globally due to the breed diversity and population size across the United States, the selection intensity in the seed stock industry, and the reliability of the United States genetic evaluations. Also, the diverse regional environments encountered across the United States are similar to many regional environments encountered globally. Since the U.S. is the source of global excellence in terms of livestock genetics, U.S. genetic exports are strongly supported by the U.S. Livestock Genetic Exports Incorporated, or USLGE. USLGE is a nationwide livestock-specific not-for-profit trade association that brings together a broad base of U.S. livestock organizations dedicated to export. Members include breed associations, embryo and semen organizations, and the livestock export sector, as well as federal and state departments of agriculture. USLGE matches international producers with U.S. producers that offer genetics with superior credentials. Several federal, state, and local programs also support the U.S. cattle industry. The Cooperative Extension Service, created 100 years ago, is supported in part by every state's designated land-grant university and provides research-based knowledge to assist with educating farmers and ranchers about new developments in agricultural procedures and technology. The cow-calf industry involves the management of the commercial cow herd through the breeding, gestation, and calving periods. Male calves are usually castrated shortly after birth and marketed at weaning, along with female calves that are not selected to replace older breeding cows in the herd. Usually the calves are weaned at 6 to 9 months of age and weigh 180 to 320 kilograms. The majority of the beef cow-calf operations are located in the Midwest and southern regions of the United States. The beef cow-calf operations in these regions take advantage of a longer grazing season, resulting in less need of forage and protein supplementation to maintain the beef cow during the winter months, which results in a lower annual feed cost. Because of the more severe winter climate, cow-calf operations in the northern regions of the United States spend significantly more to maintain their cow herds. However, despite these higher feed costs, the large-scale beef cow-calf operations are able to compete due to the efficiencies in production and economies of size. Beef cow-calf operations in the northern plains have a higher rate of adoption of genetics and reproductive technologies compared to the operations in the southern plains. The variations in climates across the United States requires breed and genetic diversity. The differences in environments, such as the local temperature, rainfall, and humidity, necessitate the selection and utilization of appropriate breeds to optimize beef production efficiency in those regions. Typically, this requires the planned mating of 2 or more breeds, commonly referred to as crossbreeding. This practice provides breeders the opportunity to achieve higher performance by combining the desirable characteristics of different breeds. An additional advantage of crossbreeding is heterosis or hybrid vigor. Crossbred calves will outperform the average of their parents. This increased productivity can be seen through enhanced growth, reproductive efficiency, maternal traits, and longevity. Calves leave their ranch or farm of origin between 6 and 9 months of age. Producers may send younger or lighter weight calves to a backgrounder or a stocker operator who continues to graze them on grass or other forages until they are 12 to 14 months of age. About 85% of the U.S. grazing lands are unsuitable for producing crops, and grazing animals on this land still makes those areas productive agricultural land. The growing and finishing industry is a segment of the beef cattle production chain that provides a bridge between the cow-calf sector and the harvesting and processing sector. The growing phase will add an additional 90 to 180 kilograms of extra weight to the weaned calves over a 3 to 8 month period, typically while grazing native or introduced forages such as annuals, perennials, or crop residue. Once calves reach weights between 300 to 400 kilograms, the majority of the cattle are placed into a finishing facility that utilizes high-energy, grain-based diets. The cattle gain an average of 1 to 2 kilograms per day for 4 to 6 months until they reach their harvest weights of 500 to 650 kilograms. Most feedlots are located in the southern and Great Plains regions. Feedlots with capacities under 1,000 head market less than 20% of finished beef cattle, while feedlots with capacities greater than 1,000 head, representing only 5% of the feedlots, market 80 to 90% of fed cattle. Other producers may choose to finish cattle on grass diets, which contain lower levels of energy than grain-based diets. This results in lower average performance and requires a longer grazing time to reach optimal harvest weights. Once cattle reach their anticipated harvest weight, they are sent to a processing facility. U.S. Department of Agriculture inspectors are stationed in all federally inspected plants. They oversee the implementation of safety, quality, and animal welfare standards from the time animals enter the processing facility until the final beef products are shipped to retail and food service establishments for consumers to purchase. America's farmers and ranchers strive to provide safe, high-quality beef for consumers at an affordable price while sustaining and improving resources under their care. The primary approach that cattle producers use to sustain a competitive advantage is to follow a low-cost strategy by adopting technologies that reduce per-unit production cost. Beef cattle genetics from the United States are highly sought after throughout the world. The U.S. is a major contributor to the worldwide supply of beef genetics through the export of live cattle, semen, and embryos. The diversity of climates around the world in which beef calves are produced requires breed diversity. The superior genetics provided through numerous breeds within the U.S. beef sector, along with efficient and low-cost international transportation, makes U.S. genetics a readily available option for worldwide beef producers. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss the U.S. beef cattle industry and the role that USLGE plays in supporting genetic exports.